Alexander the Great is often celebrated not only for his military conquests but also for his ambitious vision of a unified empire that transcended cultural and geographic boundaries. His idea of creating a vast empire that blended Greek and Eastern cultures reflects a forward-thinking approach to governance and cultural exchange. This exploration delves into Alexander's vision for a unified empire, the strategies he employed to achieve it, the challenges he faced, and the lasting legacy of his ambitious aspirations. The concept of a unified empire, ideological foundations, cultural synthesis. At the heart of Alexander's vision was the idea of cultural synthesis, where diverse cultures could coexist and enrich one another. He sought to create an empire that was not merely a collection of conquered territories, but a vibrant tapestry of different traditions, languages, and practices. This vision reflected his belief in the potential for shared knowledge and cooperation among varied peoples. Political unity. Alexander believed that a strong, unified empire would not only enhance political stability but also foster economic prosperity. By bringing together different regions under a central authority, he aimed to create a harmonious governance structure that could effectively manage diverse populations and promote trade and cultural exchange. Civic identity. Alexander's vision extended beyond mere territorial expansion. He sought to cultivate a sense of shared identity among the people of his empire. He envisioned a world where individuals could embrace both their local customs and the Hellenistic ideals he championed, creating a new, cosmopolitan identity that celebrated diversity. Philosophical influences. Greek philosophy. The influence of Greek philosophy, particularly the teachings of Aristotle, played a significant role in shaping Alexander's worldview. Aristotle emphasized the importance of knowledge, ethics, and governance, which resonated with Alexander's aspirations for a more enlightened rule. The principles of rational governance and the pursuit of knowledge informed his approach to leadership and cultural integration. Mythical ideals. Alexander's vision was also influenced by mythical ideals of heroism and destiny. He often saw himself as a descendant of heroes such as Achilles and Heracles, believing that his conquests were part of a larger narrative of greatness. This sense of destiny fueled his ambition and provided a moral justification for his military campaigns. Strategies for achieving unity. Military campaigns. Conquest and integration. Alexander's military campaigns were not solely aimed at conquest. They were strategic endeavors to unify the regions he encountered. His approach to warfare emphasized respect for local customs and leadership, which facilitated smoother transitions of power and integration of diverse populations into his empire. Adoption of local customs. Throughout his conquests, Alexander demonstrated a willingness to adopt local customs and practices. For example, in Persia, he embraced elements of Persian court culture, including ceremonial practices and attire. This integration not only endeared him to local populations but also helped to legitimize his rule. Establishment of cities. The founding of cities, particularly those named Alexandria, played a crucial role in spreading his vision of unity. These cities served as administrative centers, hubs of trade, and cultural melting pots where Greek and local influences could intermingle. By fostering urban development, Alexander aimed to create spaces where diverse peoples could coexist and interact. Promotion of Hellenistic culture. Cultural exchange. Alexander's conquests facilitated significant cultural exchanges between Greek and Eastern societies. He encouraged the mingling of ideas, arts, and philosophies, leading to the emergence of a rich Hellenistic culture that blended elements from both worlds. This cultural synthesis was evident in art, science, and religion, laying the groundwork for a more interconnected empire. Language as a unifying force. The promotion of the Greek language as the lingua franca of the empire was a critical aspect of Alexander's vision. By encouraging the use of Greek in administration, commerce, and education, he aimed to create a common language that could facilitate communication and foster a sense of unity among diverse populations. Education and philosophy. Alexander's commitment to education and philosophy was central to his vision of a unified empire. He established institutions that promoted Greek learning, attracting scholars from various backgrounds. This emphasis on intellectual exchange fostered a climate of creativity and innovation, enriching the cultural fabric of his empire. Challenges to the vision of unity. Resistance from local populations. Cultural resistance. While Alexander's vision of unity resonated with many, it also faced resistance from local populations who feared the erosion of their cultural identities. The imposition of Hellenistic ideals was met with skepticism and sometimes hostility, leading to conflicts in various regions. Uprisings and revolts. In the wake of his conquests, Alexander encountered uprisings from local rulers and tribes who resented foreign domination. The desire to maintain autonomy and traditional practices often clashed with Alexander's aspirations for a unified empire, resulting in military challenges that tested his resolve. Political fragmentation. Power struggles among the Diadochi. Following Alexander's death in 323 BCE, the lack of a clear succession plan led to the fragmentation of his empire. The wars among the Diadochi, his former generals, illustrated the difficulties in maintaining political unity after his passing. The resulting Hellenistic kingdoms, while influenced by Alexander's vision, often pursued their interests, leading to competition and conflict. Cultural divergence. The successor kingdoms adopted varying degrees of Hellenistic culture, resulting in a patchwork of cultural practices across the regions once united under Alexander. This divergence highlighted the challenges of sustaining a cohesive cultural identity in a vast and diverse empire. Legacy of Alexander's vision. Enduring influence on civilization. Cultural syncretism. The legacy of Alexander's vision for a unified empire is evident in the cultural syncretism that characterized the Hellenistic age. The blending of Greek and local traditions fostered rich artistic, scientific, and philosophical developments that continued to resonate in subsequent civilizations. Spread of Hellenistic culture. The diffusion of Hellenistic culture across the Mediterranean and Near East laid the groundwork for the cultural exchanges that would define the Roman Empire and shape Western civilization. The influence of Greek ideas on governance, philosophy, and art can be traced through history, underscoring the lasting impact of Alexander's conquests. Model of cosmopolitanism. Alexander's vision of a cosmopolitan empire, where diverse cultures could coexist and flourish, remains a powerful concept in contemporary discussions about globalization and multiculturalism. His approach to governance serves as a reminder of the potential for unity in diversity, promoting understanding and cooperation among different peoples. Coping with cultural complexity. The vastness of Alexander's empire encompassed a multitude of cultures, languages, and traditions. Managing this diversity was a complex challenge that required adaptability. Alexander had to navigate the intricacies of local customs while promoting Hellenistic ideals, often adjusting his approach based on the specific cultural context of the regions he conquered. Local governance. To effectively govern diverse populations, Alexander often retained local rulers and administrative structures. This strategy allowed for a degree of continuity and respect for local traditions, facilitating smoother integration into the Hellenistic framework. For example, in Egypt, he was hailed as a liberator and was quick to adopt elements of pharaonic tradition, which helped him secure loyalty from the local populace. Balancing Hellenization and local identity. While promoting Greek culture, Alexander recognized the importance of local identities. His attempts to integrate Hellenistic ideals often required a delicate balance to prevent alienation among conquered peoples. In many instances, he adopted local customs, such as the practice of proskynesis in Persia, where subjects would show deference to the king, thereby reinforcing his authority while respecting local traditions. Religious syncretism. Alexander's approach to religion was also indicative of his vision for unity. He understood the significance of religious beliefs in maintaining social cohesion. By respecting local religious practices and even incorporating them into his own governance, he aimed to foster a sense of shared identity. The blending of Greek and Eastern religious traditions, such as the worship of Serapis in Egypt, exemplified this syncretism and illustrated his commitment to cultural integration. Cultural legacies beyond Alexander. The influence on successor states. After Alexander's death, his vision of a unified empire persisted through the Hellenistic kingdoms established by his generals. These successor states, including the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt and the Seleucid Empire in Asia, continued to promote Hellenistic culture while incorporating local elements. The coexistence of Greek and Eastern traditions during this period enriched the cultural landscape and ensured the continuity of Alexander's legacy. Artistic and intellectual flourishing. The cultural synthesis initiated by Alexander's conquests led to remarkable advancements in art, science, and philosophy. The Hellenistic period witnessed the emergence of new artistic styles that combined Greek techniques with local influences, resulting in dynamic and expressive art forms. The period also saw significant developments in science and philosophy, with scholars building upon the foundations laid during Alexander's reign. Philosophy and thought. The Hellenistic age produced a rich intellectual tradition, marked by schools of thought such as Stoicism and Epicureanism, which incorporated elements from both Greek and Eastern philosophies. The blending of ideas during this period emphasized the importance of ethics, virtue, and the human experience, shaping philosophical discourse for centuries to come. Long-term cultural